And now we're live. All right, so usually takes a couple minutes for people to jump on, but I'm excited. You look so thrilled right now, too. Yep. Yep. So
I'm excited to be here, guys.
it's funny because one of the first things that you had said after agreeing to coming onto the live with me tonight was, do you have to censor yourself? So I can see you.
No, we're not. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the camera. Like there's a lag.
So you. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Nobody can see that because the ring light from hell is burning my eyes out.
And it's actually really little. I need a bigger one.
Christ.
So my ring lamp is only a 6-inch, I think, which
That's average.
which is fine for.
Are you hitting the?
No, I can't edit. This is live. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a 6-inch.
Average. It's an average ring light.
Which is good for just like selfies and stuff, but for actual play.
Ooh, you had to say that, didn't you?
Selfie. Yeah, but I mean, like for my actual YouTube videos, I probably should have gotten. I don't know. I think 10-inch would still be too little. I think 18-inch probably would have been ideal.
So what are we doing? What are we talking about?
So, okay.
Are we talking to people? Do people come on here?
Yes, we had someone pop on for a second, but they are not here anymore, so it shows us
They
how
didn't
many.
appreciate my 6 inches is average joke.
Probably not.
He must have been non-average. On the low side. You wanted me here.
I did want you here. So, okay. People will be popping in, and I figure what we can do is we can just have some fun with the icebreaker questions.
Okay.
So, the first one, and then typically what happens is like when people come on, they will answer the questions too in the comments. There's always a delay in the comments though. So, what are you most excited about right now?
I don't know what to be excited about at the moment.
I mean, I'm pretty excited that I have my wine. So I've got.
Oh, come on, that's such a cop out.
Okay.
That's not what that question means. It doesn't mean like what do you. I'm most excited that I'm sitting at home and being lazy.
Yes.
Like that's not what that question means. Come on.
So, I never even introduced you. Oops. So coming out of the icebreaker questions, this is my husband, Lenny. So he is joining us today. So this is the last live video that I am planning to do. So he is joining us for something special. Most excited about. I'm pretty excited that it's getting warm now. Like I'm excited that things.
I've been excited to be back out at the golf courses.
Yeah.
That's what I've been excited about.
I'm excited to be able to start doing some gardening, getting some flowers. I like flowers.
I know you do. I hate the process.
Yeah. All right, here's a fun question. The zombie apocalypse is coming. Who are 3 people, can be real or fictional, that you want to help you out?
So I think I have to start by being honest and saying nobody in this house.
Ouch. Thanks.
You would be incredibly useless in a zombie apocalypse. Let's just be honest. You'd be crying the whole time, highly emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be helpful.
Awesome.
Plus, you smell good, and that would attract the zombies.
True. Facts.
Zombie apocalypse. Uh, 3 people, real or fictional. I mean, I guess if I'm going with fiction, I could go with some like superheroes, like Iron Man, Spider-Man,
Cap.
anything that can help me, with superhuman power. And they're also willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good.
Are you the greater good?
I am the greater good. I am the greatest good.
I don't know. I would probably end up picking. I feel like Deadpool would be pretty funny to have in the zombie apocalypse.
Well, Deadpool can't get killed either, so like.
So that would be a good person to have.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine can heal himself, so I would figure that he'd be able to, like, not turn into a zombie.
Maybe.
So.
It's an interesting debate. I have to ask Stan Lee, but he's dead. So.
Yeah. All right. Now, how long do you think that you personally would last in the zombie apocalypse?
I mean, I don't know much about zombie apocalypses because, there's no historical precedent for it. But, I don't know. I mean, like, if they're like they show in the shows, like, they're not going to be smart enough to, like, open doors and shit.
They're not.
I mean, I survived basically staying in this house for the last 2 years, so.
So you think you do?
Yeah, I think I do.
Just fine. What's your favorite joke to tell?
Why aren't you answering the questions? Am I the only one answering the questions?
Oh, okay. How long do I think I would survive in the zombie apocalypse? I think I would cry, yeah. One day sounds pretty solid.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do too well. I think I'd be just crying.
You'd be a mouse.
What's your favorite joke to tell? You know what mine is.
I don't think I have a favorite joke to tell.
I have a joke.
I'm like a dad joke teller. I'm not a joke teller. I just like whatever random corny ass dad joke pops in my head in the middle of conversation.
Or any sort of that's what she said comment.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of people's favorite jokes, so I don't think that we're alone in that. So.
But my favorite though.
What's your favorite?
What is Mario's suspenders made out of? Denim, denim, denim.
I think we just went to 0 viewers.
It's fine. It's fun. Favorite sandwich? I love Jersey Mike's, so I'm going to have to say their chicken cheesesteak, the Chipotle chicken cheesesteak with extra cheese. Although I really do love just a ham and cheese with extra oil and extra vinegar.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a viewer. Hey.
I've had some pretty good sandwiches along the way. I had a bison burger in New York. That was really good.
It's Pepper. Hi, baby. Hi, Pepper. Little sweetheart. Let's see. Favorite movie? I know my truth.
What's your favorite movie?
Couples Retreat.
That's true. You force me to watch it once a month usually.
Just about. Hi, Pepper.
I
know. I absolutely love Couples Retreat. Vince Vaughn is so funny. I just love him. And Kristen Bell's pretty funny, too.
I always have a hard time with this question because, like, the genres are so different. Like, how do you compare, like, a comedy to an action?
Yeah, I mean...
Or, like, a drama, you know what I mean?
The Marvel movies are all really good, but, like...
They are. But, like, if I think about it from, like, a movie and a storytelling perspective, like, The Departed was a fantastic movie.
I've never seen that.
It's a great movie.
I gotta say, one of the movies that I don't like, that I feel like I'm probably in the minority, is I don't like Titanic. And I feel like most people...
Oh, that movie's horrible.
Yeah,
The movie's horrendous. Like, unless you were, like, into the whole, like, chick flick romance thing, the movie's awful.
I mean, we were, 7th grade when it came out?
No, it's like, yeah, maybe, 7th grade. That sounds about right.
It was, 97. Yeah, we were, 6th or 7th grade. I don't know. I I thought it was long. I didn't find it interesting, and I was not yet like everyone else seemed to be like very into Leonardo DiCaprio, and I wasn't.
Well,
So
I'm into Leonardo DiCaprio, right? He's an amazing actor. He does great work.
oh, I appreciate him now.
But frankly, that movie is like the least of his best work. Like he's done at least 10
Yeah.
including The Departed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have to go with Couples Retreat. Although I do love, I mean, like when we sit and we try to watch a movie and we can't figure out something, we always end up going to Couples Retreat, Get Him to the Greek, or Forgetting Sarah Marshall, or Doctor Strange. That's one of my favorites. All right, so yeah, no comments for the last one. So feel free, anybody can answer these. It's kind of fun. On a plane, do you prefer the window seat or the aisle seat?
I don't care. Like, honestly, when I'm on a plane, what I look for is the emergency exit seats. And I don't care if I'm on the window side of it, if I'm on the aisle side of it, because in the emergency exit seats, you get the extra leg room.
Yeah.
And I would much rather be able to stretch out my legs because no matter what, you're always going to be like cramped horizontally, especially me because I'm packing. But like the extra leg room is nice.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a comment. It's Tamika. Hey, Tamika. So Lenny's here with me. Aisle because of long legs. See, I like the window seat because I love to look out. I love flying. I love watching everything. Planner Nerd Plans. Kate says hello.
Hello. See, I'm afraid of heights, but like being in a plane, I'm not that bad. I don't like taking off. But once I'm in the sky, I don't mind looking down.
See, I love takeoff and I love landing. When I was in college, I actually had considered, hey Ruth, when I was in college, I actually had considered looking into getting a job as a flight attendant. But because the hours are like so inconsistent and everything, there was no way I would be able to work that around a college schedule.
It's you know what I think it is with the window seat?
So we have aisle seat from Tamika and Kate. Ruth is like me and says window seat.
I don't know if anybody else is afraid of heights like I am. Like if you put me on top of a tall building, I'll freak out. Right? But if you put me in a plane, there's this weird. The reason I don't like taking off, and the reason I'm not a huge fan of landing, but I don't mind when I'm all the way up in the air, is because there's this like inevitability when you're up in the air that you know that if anything goes wrong, you have a 0.0% chance of survival. Whereas, like, if I fall off a semi-tall building, there's a chance that I could survive.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, that's the fear of heights. But, like, it gets trumped when you're up that high. Because you're like, oh, I know if I fell from this distance, like, it's over. I'm very dark, apparently.
Yes, you are, but that's okay. So, easy to get to the bathroom.
That is a good one.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of this one time when I was in Vegas. I ended up in a middle seat. And yeah, and it was like I decided, and I think I mentioned this in last week or the week before, that it was like a 6 a.m. flight. So for that, I just didn't go to sleep. So I ended up staying up, getting Starbucks at like 2 o'clock in the morning, drinking way too much coffee, and I was in the middle seat. So I had to keep getting up to go to the bathroom on this, like, what is it, 6 hours from Vegas to here? Vegas to Baltimore, something like that. So yeah, whoever was on the aisle seat did not like me for that plane ride. Not at all. No windows, hate flying. So Peaches, Pumpkins, and Pies, Tamika, and she's on the PR team.
Okay.
I'm afraid of heights, but it takes me a while to get used to it. So, like, I'm not, and Ruth says she's afraid of heights too.
That's kind of the thing, is like when that's what being afraid of heights is like. Like, at first there's this initial shock, and you're like, you could be safe as you could be, but there's this initial shock of like, you're going to die. Like, you step out on top of a tall building. Oh my God. You know? But then as time moves on, you like slowly like reach acceptance of it, and you're like, I'm okay. Like, I don't want to be here, but I'm okay here. Because, like, if given the opportunity, I would go to the top of a really tall building, just like in a city.
Yeah.
just to see the view. I would do it. I would hate myself for doing it. But I would do it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I know one of the things that you are like dead set on is that you will never go to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I flew over it. That was good enough for me.
Yeah, I've flown over it too, for back and forth from Vegas. But yeah, so I'm originally from New Jersey, and back in Hurricane Sandy, like I feel like most people, although at this point it's so far away, it's been almost 10 years. The roller coaster that was in the ocean,
yeah,
that's where I'm from. Like that was in walking distance for me.
She lived in the roller coaster as a kid.
Yep, that was my home. It's the roller coaster.
Tragic story.
It is called the Jetstar. But yeah, like going on that, and then the log flume, which was right next to it, like the pier went out pretty deep into the ocean. And I love going on roller coasters and everything, but they always scared me because they were high over the ocean. And even though I grew up on the beach, I couldn't swim. So it terrified me because like I knew like I would survive falling into the water more than likely because it wasn't like I figure I would survive, but I wouldn't be able to swim to shore. So that is what scared me.
What's our next question?
That's what I'm looking for. Okay, here's a fun one. Would you rather? Would you rather always be early or always be late?
I mean, you know the answer to this for me.
Early.
I show up to everything like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I would rather be early and not late. I mean, like
I'm not even one of those people that thinks that it's like that big of a deal. I just don't like to walk into chaos, like ever.
Yeah.
And I always feel like if I get to somewhere early, whether it's work, whether it's well, not anymore work because I work in the basement, but you know, and back when I used to go to the office, I'd rather get there 10 minutes early, be able to settle in, get my cup of coffee, take a deep breath, accept being there, because you know most people have to like physically go through this acceptance of being there, and then you know let the shit hit the fan, so to speak. Rather than you walk in 5 minutes late,
he's uncensored,
and the shit's already hit the fan and it's all over the walls, and you have to start cleaning the second you walk in. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I would pick early, especially like from a not a work perspective, just like general things. Like if I'm going to try to meet somebody, I would rather get there and sit and wait and have that person have to find me than me have to walk in and like I'll anxiously try to look for whoever it is I'm trying to find. So Kate says early. Ruth is early.
The early birds win.
Tamika early except for work.
I mean, some people just don't like work, and I get it. I get that. I would show up as late as I could.
That is understandable.
Yeah.
That's.
And also, my boss wouldn't come in. He'd come in like 90 minutes after the only person that would bitch at me would be my
Your grandma?
And I just didn't care.
And she really didn't care either.
No. She did her job as the office manager and pretended to care.
Yeah. Hello. All right, so that was the always early. Oh, this one's fun. If you had to be a super villain, who would it be? So last week I did you had to be a Disney sidekick. So today we're doing a super villain. So it doesn't have to be a Disney villain. It could be a villain from like a superhero comic book thing.
I mean, you know my answer.
Thanos?
Yeah.
Why Thanos? Why would you want to be Thanos?
Because he's freaking unstoppable.
I don't know. I mean, like, he did accomplish what he said he was going to accomplish, but then they were able to undo it, and he died in the end.
That's because he got complacent.
Twice.
That's because he got complacent. He got too complacent.
Part of me wants to say Mother Gothel. I like Disney. Like, Mother Gothel...
You want to be a kidnapper.
When you put it that way...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, child kidnapper.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I don't want to be... Like, I wouldn't want to be Scar, because he literally kills his brother and then tries to kill his nephew. The evil queen...
If he didn't like your brother and nephew, maybe.
What's the evil queen's name? Snow White's stepmother. Oh my god, I used to know it. And now I don't. But I wouldn't want to be her. Because, like, She's also trying to kill someone.
Oh my.
Pinhead from Hellraiser. I haven't seen that. Have you?
Whew, that's dark. Why? I want to know why.
I don't know.
I'm curious why. Like, is it hairstyle? Like, do you want the like spiky?
Oh, I could be Hela, the goddess of death. She's slightly misunderstood.
I'm sorry,
What?
No, she was very well understood. She just wanted to murder everything.
She had a wolf.
She did. She had a giant wolf.
She had a giant wolf.
That was admirable.
Yeah. Were there any villains that had cats? Cinderella's stepmother.
Oh, there was.
She was psychologically terrible.
There was the one from WandaVision. She had a cat. No, she had a bunny.
Yeah, she had a bunny. Mr. Scratches?
Mr. Scratchy or whatever.
Something like that.
I still want to know why Pinhead. I really want to know.
There we go. Yeah, comments are usually delayed. He intrigued me because she was so cool with it.
I honestly, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. And I mean, I probably shouldn't have watched that movie as a kid, but I watched a lot of movies as a kid that I shouldn't have watched. And that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Explains a lot. Interesting.
I think I'm still going to go with Hela.
What do we have next?
Let's see. Where were we? If you could time travel and spend the day visiting any decade, which would you choose? What's that face for?
I don't want to go to the past. That's so crappy.
Well, it doesn't say you have to go to the past. You could go to a decade in the future.
Okay, fine. I'll go 10 years into the future and I'll have no idea. There's that shit hits the fan thing. I have no idea what I'm walking into.
You want to be early. You don't want to be late.
Yeah, I don't want to be late.
Traveling backwards in time, you're going to go forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go to 2022 so that I know.
So you're just going to go 1 year into
I'm just gonna go 1 year into the future so I know what the hell's gonna happen in the year. Who wins the Super Bowl?
And then come back and bet on it.
And then come back and bet on it.
Oh, I gotta switch back over to the.
Gotta suffice the gambling problem.
All right, so Ruth says 45 or 55.
I gotta know. Yeah, I gotta know more about that. I need to know why 45 or 55.
Well, 45 is a pretty historical year overall.
I mean, 45 was like the end of
World War
II.
Yeah.
So like that was an interesting time in history.
Yeah, from a historical standpoint.
I don't know about 55. I don't know what happened then.
I would like to go to the 60s. When I was in college, I took the professor whose class I took so many of that I ended up accidentally with a history minor. One of the first classes of his that I took was a class all about the 1960s. So I feel like going to that and like seeing something that I spent like 4 months studying.
Yeah, I got to be honest. If I was going to go in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and here's the thing, a younger me who had more energy than I have these days would have easily said the 70s, and I would have hit the club scene like really hard. Because I really love 70s music.
Yeah.
I love the disco music. It's funny. And so I think I would have really enjoyed going to the club back then. But again, I would have had to have been a younger me when I did enjoy going to clubs. Like now I would just be that weird old guy in the corner.
You don't want to be the weird old guy in the corner. I almost think 90s, like we lived it as kids, and I'd be curious to go back and see it from an adult's perspective.
No, I don't want it ruined for me. I have good memories of the 90s, but I know a lot of bullshit happened like in the adult world in the 90s.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it ruined for me.
Good point. 1810. Why? I'm curious about that one.
Yeah, that's a very oddly specific year. Like War of 1812, like so before the war times, like what I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean like the decade in general though. So she could be picking 1810 for like all of those teen years, the 18 teens.
Well,
and not just 1810.
When did that war last though?
I don't know.
There was a time when I knew all these answers.
Yeah, I mean, most of the history classes that I took from Upton were from later in American history.
Told us why.
Jane Austen books coming out.
See, there was a good reason.
That is pretty cool.
That's a good reason, actually.
Love reading novels based in that time.
Interesting.
And then Tamika says the 80s.
The 80s definitely seemed like they were a fun time. Like, if you look back on them. But again, it's like, maybe at a certain age, like, don't take me back there as a mid-30s guy. Don't take me back anywhere as a mid-30s guy, because, like, when you get in your 30s, like, everybody expects you to be involved in, like, politics and all that, and I don't want any of that. Like, if I could go back to the 80s and just do, like, the 80s parties and everything, and the fashion. Holy crap, the fashion. If I could do that and just ignore all the adult stuff. But again, I don't want to go back anywhere.
So you want to travel for the entertainment of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like, depending, right? Like, again, like, what are you? You're traveling back and just observing blindly, or are you traveling back to, like, live in that era? Because, like, as a man, I wouldn't want to travel back to 1810 because I would probably have to fight in the War of 1812.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, so, like,
very general.
It's very general, so it's an interesting question.
So, Jane Austen books, book nerd.
I'm not a book nerd, but I can respect it. I'm not a big reader, you know that, but I have no problem with people that do read and people that are passionate about it. You got to be passionate about something.
I mean, all of our kids.
I'm very passionate about music. Like, I get really into music. I get really into, like, movies. Yeah, but books have just never been my jam.
What was the best concert you've ever been to?
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, I didn't know you saw them.
Yeah. I saw them in, I want to say, 1999, right after the Battle of Los Angeles came out. And they were... I had been to a lot of concerts at that time. I mean, you got to remember back in the day, right? So this is the time frame. Like, I went to a Kid Rock concert. I went to Limp Bizkit. Like, I went to a lot of the HF festivals down in DC, which they were just mass. Like, it was a rock station. So anybody who doesn't know, it's just like, it was like a big rock festival. Just a bunch of rock bands would show up there and play all day. It was like a 3-day thing. So I went to a lot of things, right? Went to a lot of concerts. I never had one where everybody insisted that they had to stand up the whole time, except for Rage. Like, everybody was on their feet. It was crazy. The energy, like, so much energy and everything. It was just a really good concert.
Ruth answered about 45 and 55, clothes, music, decor of the 40s and 50s.
Oh, there it is.
I'd like to be an adult in the 80s.
There you go.
All right. I am not surprised that Tamika said Mariah, because the other night, it was her live that I was watching.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a question about, it was The Masked Singer. So, I was on the couch.
I was listening to that.
So I remember, Tamika, you had said about singing a Mariah song.
When did you see her? That's the point. That's the one I would want to know, because, like,
early Mariah versus late Mariah are two different Mariahs.
She definitely changed.
Yeah. I mean, every artist changes, though. Sure. When they're in the business for that long, like, of course they're going to evolve. They come out and they're so young.
Well, my understanding,
their experiences
and like
change.
my understanding, and I have never been a huge Mariah Carey fan. My understanding was that some of the plastic surgery that she had done for herself had messed up her voice a little bit, like her actual, like, live voice. And so I'm curious, like, did you get to see, like, vintage 90s Mariah Carey, or did you get to see, like, post-plastic surgery Mariah Carey, where supposedly, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is just bad rumors, but where she, like, screwed up her voice?
Didn't they say that they were worried about Adele's voice changing because she ended up having to go through a surgery too?
She like ruptured a vocal cord.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, her voice changed, but, like, that just was shit luck.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't like, I want to look more pretty. You know, she had to get it to save her career. She's fortunate she still has one. She's still got an amazing voice.
Okay, so Tamika's seen her twice, though.
Oh, okay. I can get down on some like Sweet Sweet Fantasy Baby and all that. Like my dad was hilarious. He
loved Mariah.
He had the original Mariah Carey album, like her debut album. He just jammed that. And my dad in the '90s when that song came out, like
he had a mullet,
he had a
right?
mullet, yeah. But it was like it was like a super long mullet. So to see this man like the super long mullet, and he drove a Chevy Astro van.
I love your dad.
But he would pop in that Mariah Carey cassette tape and just jam out.
Ruth said Michael W. Smith. Oh, here's Tamika again. She loves her fans. One concert was a large venue and was a small, intimate venue. She let the fans pick the song list. Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because honestly, there's been a lot of times where I've gone to a concert and I'm like, man, I really wish whoever I had just seen had played this one song that I
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, like if you follow a band, a lot of times you end up liking the B-sides more than you like the hits. And they'll never play the B-sides at a concert.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's their only album, they will because they don't have anything else to play. So catching them early, you get that benefit. But like one of my bands that I would love to still go see is All Time Low. But All Time Low has like 10 albums at this point. There's no chance I'd hear any of the B-sides that I wanted to hear. Yeah. It would all be the hit stuff. I
went in 2004 and Maroon 5 opened for John Mayer.
Which is stupid, by the way.
But it was 2004. Like they had put out Harder to Breathe in the summer of 03.
Yeah.
And they were starting to get like a little more traction in 2004. But at that point it was early summer, it was like July of 04. So like they still were not terribly popular, but I'm just
saying, like from the career trajectory, it's crazy to think that Maroon 5 ever opened for anybody.
Yes. Let alone John Mayer.
Let alone John Mayer, of all people, who had like one hit song.
Yeah,
and was more famous because he supposedly was hot.
Well, the funny thing is, my friend had won tickets to see Aerosmith at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. And they ended up having to cancel because I think Steven Tyler had laryngitis that night. And they did not reschedule that concert. So they gave her the tickets for Maroon 5 and John Mayer. And she actually had backstage passes to go and meet Maroon 5, like in a meet and greet thing, not like... So it was pretty cool. So I have a picture. I mean, it's probably lost now because, you know, old computers and everything. Yeah. But I had a picture of the two of us with Maroon 5. Yeah, so Tamika says B-sides are the best.
So who is Michael W. Smith?
I don't know.
I don't recognize that name. I don't know why. Maybe it's a genre I don't listen to, but... Did we get everybody else? Yeah, I think we got everybody else.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So, like, when you highlight
Don't explain the app.
Okay.
People don't want to see you explain the app.
Okay, here's hard-hitting question right here.
No.
It does too.
No, it does not.
It is so delicious.
I mean, look.
Pineapple on pizza.
Here's the thing. You can put anything you want to together. Like, I know a lot of people have probably been on TikTok over the last year and have seen their fair share of cooking recipes and shit that have like crazy stuff. Pineapple does not belong on pizza.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It's incredible. It's so sweet. It's so good.
Yeah, but why does pizza need sweet? What does the sweet counteract?
The acidity of the tomato sauce.
No.
And it goes so well with the mozzarella cheese.
Mozzarella cheese has some sweetness to it. It's not sugary sweetness, but it's dairy sweetness.
Tamika says no. It says yes. We need Ruth to be a tiebreaker. I think it's perfect. I love it. Favorite tradition or holiday?
I mean, my favorite holiday.
You love food.
Well, it's about the food, but it was also always an opportunity to go see extended family that I might not see.
Yeah, because we always took Thanksgiving to go up to your aunt's house.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like, the band broke up there. You know, they all, like, for whatever reasons, have gone their separate ways. So, like, going up for Thanksgiving dinner now is just D, basically, which D's good enough.
Yeah.
D's plenty for me.
And Grandma Phyllis.
And Grandma Phyllis, yeah, but like it used to be a much bigger deal, and I'd get to see all my uncles and my aunts. And it was a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly happened, but I don't get involved in family drama.
No, we
I never have.
hosted.
That's probably why nobody likes me, because I don't get involved in their drama.
Yeah, we hosted Thanksgiving in 2019.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the point of like where I'm at this point. We have a nice big house, like if possible.
Yeah.
And if you host it, you get to dictate what's on the menu.
Yeah, that is true. I love that cornbread corn casserole.
Yeah, that was a good recipe by my sister.
And the potato bread stuffing.
Yeah, but the point is, like, you just get to dictate all your favorite stuff.
So, yeah.
Thanksgiving for the win. Everybody loves Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong, Christmas is fun. I like Halloween still. There's still like a kiddie part of me on Halloween that wants to dress up, even though I'm not going to do it. I probably will one of these years.
Yeah.
But
I think that if it wasn't COVID, we would have this past Halloween.
Yeah. July 4th does nothing for me. Like, I like fireworks, but it's not, not that exciting of a holiday. Again, it's the food. I look forward to July 4th, Memorial Day, things like that. I look forward to the food more than anything else.
Yeah.
Something special.
Getting together.
Something very special about Thanksgiving, though. You just can't put your finger on it, but it feels special.
Yeah. From a conversation we were having the other day.
We literally just had this conversation.
I know, that's why I'm like, you know what? Pineapple on pizza? Opinion on moist.
Not only do I not have a problem with this word, but I'm not surprised by that, because I don't think it's men that have a problem with this word. I think it's women.
There's so many other words that I have, and I, like, even, like I said it the other day, that I couldn't think of the words that really bothered me, and I still can't think of the words that bother me more than moist. But
yeah, so there's two things about it. One is it's one of those words that sounds like what it is. Like when you say the word moist, you almost feel it, Like even your mouth gets a little moist when you say it. If there's somebody on here that hates this word,
they're cringing
right now. But the other half of it, I think, for women is that they don't like to be described as it in certain. Because men don't have any tact, so like a lot of men will be like, "Oh, you're so moist," and it's like that's not a word you use for that. Like that's a word I use on like cake. Like cake is moist. You know what I mean? But I think that's women's problem with it.
So no problem, cake.
Yeah, they probably will have a problem with it after what I just said.
Yeah, I have a problem with it after hearing.
But see because I knew a woman that did not like that. Described that way by a man.
Men suck.
Men do suck. I would never use the word to describe anything that wasn't like food or weather. Like, oh, it's moist outside. There's a lot of moisture outside, like cake. Cake is the perfect word, perfect place to use that word. And there's nothing better than a moist cake.
Favorite subject in school?
Favorite? I hated school. I hated all the subjects. Foods.
So you like home ec?
Yeah. No, foods. I took foods, not home ec. I took foods class. 2 different classes. Foods and advanced foods. It was all cooking.
The first high school I went to had it like that too, where foods was its own class.
That's where I got my baked ziti recipe. We made that in that class.
Good too.
It is. It's amazing.
And that's what the kid wanted for her birthday dinner.
And honestly, I mean, considering my parents never really taught me how to cook, the fact that I can cook probably has a lot to do with that class.
Yeah.
And I never really noticed it. But my best subject was math. It was easy. Yeah. Numbers have always come easy to me, so I didn't mind math because I knew I was going to do fine no matter what was thrown at me.
Yeah, I think my absolute favorite was chemistry. Physics was a close second. I loved those two.
I hated chemistry. I got a D- in chemistry.
I loved those.
I passed chemistry by the skin of my teeth. I think it was exactly, like, failing grade was 59 and below, and I got a 60.
I did so well throughout the school year in chemistry that I was exempt and didn't have to take the final because it wouldn't have done anything to change my grade.
I would have thought chemistry would have been that way. I was more, when it comes to science, I was more into biology.
Yeah, see, I didn't really do well in biology. I did okay, but I didn't do well. Sciences, like chemistry and physics, I did really well in. I did really well in algebra, my algebra 2 class, and geometry and Spanish were my strong suits.
I did everything good in math.
History, math until calculus. Yeah, I got up to pre-calc and that teacher just kind of ruined it for me, so I ended up not going past pre-calc.
You know, the irony is that I went into statistics and I had that same feeling. Like I was like, oh, I'll take statistics. And then when I started,
yeah, instead of taking calculus my senior year, I took an accounting class because like I still liked math, but I didn't want to do calc.
Accounting should be mandatory.
Yeah. Well, it was business accounting.
It should be just like basic accounting. I mean,
I did find it helpful. Math is after that. And then, let's see, I'm lost. Least favorite. For me, it was art.
It was chemistry.
Yeah.
It was absolutely chemistry. Like I said, I sucked at that class. I hated that class. Teacher was boring. I liked U.S. history.
Yeah.
I hated world history.
Yeah, see, I loved history generally. Like, I did like world history, but I ended up just really getting into American history because of that one professor. But yeah, as far as least favorite subject in school, like generally over the entire course from like elementary to high school, art was always the one that
Art was cheesy. Like, that's the problem with art. Like, they have you do things that like you'd never do in real life unless you wanted to be an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is funny because
like I did paper mache in freshman year of high school. Like, when the hell in my life am I ever going to do paper mache? Yeah. And I have nothing against the arts. You know, they're underfunded. But not that. Yeah. There's not a business in paper mache in the world.
I remember every year we would do like one unit on like clay and sculpting and everything like that sort of stuff. And that was fun. But I was never good at it. Tamika's least favorite was history.
Yeah, I liked U.S. history.
I loved ancient history. I loved learning about Egypt and Mesopotamia. And I remember ancient Greek. I loved ancient history. Once it started to get more modern, I wasn't a big fan of world history. Ancient history I loved. Let's see. Yeah, it is 9:43. So let's
do questions though. You skipped one.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say we're running. It's close to 10.
9:43.
PE. Okay. We'll do both.
10. It's close to 11 too. I mean.
All right. So
you have 2 more left.
Two more. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you could instantly become an expert in anything, what is the one thing you would pick?
Cars at this point. Because my life is about to be tortured by the fact that I don't know anything about them.
Oh my god.
So if I can because here's the thing. I'm going to be forced to become an expert on cars. So I wish I could just do it instantly like that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna come in from the garage and we're gonna have like car oil and stuff all over us. Yeah. We're gonna need to get like.
I'm gonna get the denim overalls and just go with the whole
Carhartt
look. Yeah.
Right. That's the brand Carhartt. Our son is getting into racing. So yeah, and we don't know anything about fixing cars and building engines and all that. It's gonna take. So Tamika wants to be an expert in art. Yeah, that would be fun. I wish that I had more like abilities.
Yeah, music would be fun. I wish I could play a guitar. I know it's not too late.
Yeah.
But like again, like
I mean, I know an instructor.
I'd have to commit myself to it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's not.
And we see how much that she practices to try to.
Yeah, she practices really hard.
Well, how much we tell her she needs to practice. Business or writing. Oh my gosh, yeah, writing would be really good.
Being an expert in business is overrated.
You were the one that said about 1810 because of the novels, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a big
book nerd.
Book nerd.
Yeah.
So yeah, makes sense. I mean, hey, yeah, I think that's the thing is like if you have that type of a question, you immediately instinctively want to say something that would be like your dream to do.
Yeah.
So like she'd want to be like an author, and be able to actually write books. And I don't know. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to be a mechanic for a living, but
it just would be helpful
for
right. Your life.
That's the thing. I went to like selfishly
like what would be helpful. Yeah. Yeah, I would want more artistic abilities. Like there's so much that like I would love to do for the shop that I can't do. Like you saw how long I've struggled to do those florals.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I think that's what I'd have to pick. And then this is the last one. I'm not skipping any. What is one uncommon thing you would want in your dream house? So if we could add anything.
Come on. You already know.
A golf studio?
A golf studio. Yeah. I want a full-blown golf studio. Simulator and all.
Yeah, we have in the garage, we have a big net and like fake grass put down in the garage for practicing, but our garage is only a 1-car garage. So it's good for the 8-year-old, but it's not necessarily good for an adult.
No. We have small ceilings.
Yeah.
Well, not small. They were normal for the time.
Yeah. But our house was built in the 70s.
But like I think our ceilings are like 9 feet. Like that's not big enough for a backswing.
Like Larry's tiles in his office.
Yeah, like Larry's tiles in his office, right? And he had taller ceilings and it was still happening. So.
Yeah. And there'd be a stray golf ball that would go up and
there's only one room in this entire house that's big enough, and it just happens to be the room that's surrounded with windows. Yeah. So it's impossible to do.
Yeah.
You know this.
And I wouldn't want to lose my sunroom.
You know this because I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
This isn't just a uncommon thing I want in my dream house. This is an uncommon thing I want in my current house.
Like 10 minutes from us. Hi, Cindy.
If Brittany had her way, we would have been done by now. Because it's close to 10.
I like to try to keep it under an hour.
No, screw that. They give me an hour. I'm taking the hour. I'm about to filibuster the next 10 minutes of this thing.
12.
I can't see the clock. I'm blind.
Hi, Pepper. Hi, baby. I would ask if you wanted to come up, but I know you would fight me. Because you don't like being picked up.
Nope.
So you can't come say hi.
So what do you want?
I think I would want a greenhouse. So that I could have my flowers and everything, but so that I could also have a vegetable garden and not have to worry about all of the little critters. I love the squirrels and the chipmunks, but if I wanted a vegetable garden, I'd want to make sure that like I could get some of the vegetables for myself and not have to try to beat the squirrels and chipmunks to my garden.
Yeah.
So I think like a greenhouse would be really cool. And then we could have fresh vegetables and basil year round and not have to worry about the basil plant dying because it got too cold on the bay window. We bought a basil plant and a cilantro plant last summer and we kept them in the sunroom and it worked. And then when it got too cold, we brought it into the house and we put it in the bay window in our front room, thinking that it would be fine. But no, the bay window, when we would close the curtains at night, it would just like end up being like an ice box, and they didn't make it. Yeah, I mean, like that was a really like odd question. So I just go onto Google for like the last couple of weeks when we did the this or that, and then last week's icebreakers and this week's icebreakers. I just Googled icebreaker questions, found a bunch of websites, and just kind of started picking questions from there and taking questions that I've read and kind of like tweaking them to things that I felt were more relevant. And I thought that was a good question, but I didn't have an answer for it when I came up with it. An ice cream creamery or a bakery with a pastry chef included. Yes. Oh my gosh. I would love to have any sort of like chef. I mean, you do a great job cooking, but like it'd be nice to have like a
I'm not a
professional.
chef.
No.
No.
It'd be nice to have like a professional
The thing you
chef.
gotta worry about with chefs though, sometimes they go off the trails and cook some really crazy shit
Yeah.
that nobody in the right mind wants to eat.
Oh my gosh, and like the hamster chef is constantly using truffles.
You know, I would probably like truffles.
I wouldn't.
No, I know. Because you refuse to try things.
I don't want mushrooms.
Why?
It's a fungus. It's a fungus.
Yeah.
I just the word fungus.
She loves blue cheese dressing, by the way. Did you ever think about that?
Nope. And I'm not gonna think about that.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
don't like that.
Any explanation she goes into now about how she doesn't want to eat mushrooms is bullshit.
It looks like they have gills. I don't eat fish either.
You don't eat them like that though.
I don't care. No mushrooms.
I'll tell you the thing I don't get though is the truffle hot sauce. I don't understand that. That truff sauce like everybody's using. I don't get that. Well, what the hell's wrong with the pepper?
Pepper?
Not her. I mean, there's a lot wrong with her, but
Oh,
hey, what the hell's wrong with the pepper? I just don't get it.
She's just a baby. Oh, her little ears show.
Look, they're both laughing because I'm making fun of the truff shot, or because I called bullshit on you liking blue cheese. Yeah.
Don't come up.
Custom craft room.
Yes, that. Like I like my office, but if I could have like a truly like done up pepper. Yeah, if I could have like a truly like completely done craft room, that would be incredible.
I don't even know what that means.
I mean, like, kind of take what I have generally, but like expand it tenfold.
Coomint. I like that one. The Coomint.
Autocorrect gets me too, so.
It's a bitch.
Especially when like whatever app you're using does not work with autocorrect and you're so used to autocorrect. And...
See, that one I understand. Like, I feel like if you're going to do something like that, you just, like, there's no amount of desk space that's too much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you could.
I mean, like, I don't have enough desk space.
You could literally, like, wrap the basement, like, 40 feet around.
Yeah.
In desk and still say you want more. Like, I get that.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now my desk takes up almost this entire wall. Like, it's about a foot of space over there, maybe a foot and a half, where it doesn't hit the other wall. And, like, how long is this wall? I forget what it was.
I don't know. They're like 9x9 offices, I think.
Yeah, so, like, I have 9 feet over here, and then this comes out about 5 feet. And it's an L shape. And it's
just covered.
Yeah, I have no desktop space over here.
And in a completely unrelated note, I have no money.
I didn't buy my Simply Gilded though.
No, you didn't.
I skipped.
No, you let your daughter go to a golf camp instead.
They were really pretty colors. She had all those greens this time and like the deep ocean blue, and they were so pretty. And then the alcohol ink albums.
In 5 minutes, does anybody want to shoot a question?
Nope. I need to find something to replace this dining room chair with some for my punches and laminate machine. Yeah. I want to get something to put my cutting machine on because like there's a lot of space above it that's not being used. And if I either put a shelf over it or put it on a shelf that had storage under it, like there's just so much space right there that's just not utilized.
It was supposed to have 2 shelves.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Probably
Did your mom
lost.
not give us?
Yeah, neither my mom didn't give it to us, or we lost it. We
moved so
we
many
moved
times.
like 62 times.
Yeah, and that's something else that Tamika was saying about in her live on Tuesday about moving. We've moved. Oh my god.
Well, we haven't moved in 6 years now.
That is exciting, but like.
But in the 6 years previous that we were together, we moved like 6 times.
Yeah. Yep. 6. 6 exactly.
The trip to IKEA.
Our closest IKEA is Volumar, isn't it?
Yeah, White Marsh.
Yeah. I've never been.
It's okay. But when you realize the quality
Nope, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. So the quality of IKEA furniture. Gone.
Yeah, it just gets me down. So like I'm like the place.
They have meatballs?
Yeah, they have meatballs. They used to have meatballs. I think they discovered that there was horse meat.
What?
No, I'm not making this up. You can look it up. I think it was in Europe.
I thought it was a furniture store.
It's the same as like Costco having hot dogs in the front. They had meatballs. That was their thing. Like I'm not crazy. IKEA had meatballs.
Did IKEA have meatballs? Sorting through stickers now. Oh my gosh. I was going to decorate my plant. I have not decorated either of my planters this week. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that we got the shot on Friday and it knocked me out. Not like literally, just like figuratively. So they have a cafeteria. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. You skipped a comment. This comment came up first. And then this one.
Wow.
Yeah. The latest discovery was made by the Swedish furniture giant IKEA. Inspectors in the Czech Republic said Monday they found traces of horse meat in frozen meatballs made in Sweden for the furniture maker.
I wasn't making that up. It was a real story. It was a big deal.
But it wasn't in America.
No. But they served meatballs. So they were Swedish meatballs made in the Czech Republic. Made of horse. I might have eaten horse in my life. Time's up.
Yeah, it's 9:58. Are you happy?
Yes. I filibustered.
So, okay. He was totally fine. He felt nothing other than a sore arm. My arm was not sore. I was exhausted. I was nauseous.
And to clarify, sore arm, it left a welt. So it was like somebody punched me in the shoulder muscle.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
But I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So you could feel where his shot was.
Yeah, there was a literal bump there.
When the nurse gave me my shot, she ended up with a face like, and I was like, what's wrong? She's like, oh, I just can't find where I injected you and you're not bleeding, so I don't know where to put the Band-Aid. And so, there was no blood, no sign of the injection, and you couldn't even feel it on me either. So it was completely fine for me for that. But it just made me so tired. And it made me nauseous.
But
so
you also just went through a lot of work going through a release and everything. So the tired may not have been related. The nauseous probably, but
yeah. I'm not usually that exhausted though. Like it's a different type of exhaustion after a release that's that big. Because that was huge. The one I'm having next Friday is not going to be as big.
I mean, the point is, like, it wasn't anything so bad that I would say don't get it.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, I don't regret it one bit. Because
Yeah.
it gives me a chance.
I'm looking forward to when we get it the next. My coworker was fatigued, sore, and had a bad rash all over her face. Yeah, neither one of us ended up with a rash. But I signed up for the check-in. So like every day for like a week, they send you like they were sending me text messages and asking me to go to their website to fill in what my symptoms were or side effects were. And I know that rash and itchiness were listed on there, but I never experienced it. It was always just fatigue and nausea, which went away by middle of the day Monday, and I got the shot on Friday.
Yeah. You woke up.
I woke up Monday kind of feeling run down, but by lunchtime I was fine.
I wake up every Monday feeling run down.
Fact. All right. We have gone for over an hour now.
Yes. 2 hours, more.
No, not 2 hours. Still waiting to get the shot. Yeah, it was very unexpected that we were able to get it because like he's been checking like almost every day to see if he can get us appointments, and it was really difficult to get the appointments in.
What I like to see, honestly, is the fact that it was hard.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of demand, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I was willing to wait for mine. Like
Yeah.
we qualified, so like I wanted to get it because I wanted to get it as soon as I could. But
yeah.
If we weren't able to get it for another 2 weeks, even I would have waited. You know, it wouldn't have been a big deal to me.
Yeah.
As long as the reason was because there was so much demand, it was impossible to make an appointment.
Yeah.
There were no supply problems.
I was already mentally prepared to have to wait until May before it would be available.
Yeah.
So I'm excited I was able to get it as early as I did.
Yep.
I'm
excited.
Relieved.
We go for our second shots in 2 more weeks now.
Yep.
So.
Which is why I'm doing a release next week instead of 3 weeks.
Yep, and I'm just ecstatic because, you know, like you still got to wear the mask and everything, you know, for other people's benefits and whatnot. But the mask never really bothered me that much.
No, I like it from a fashion standpoint.
It's not fashionable.
Some of them are cute.
If I had my choice, I wouldn't wear it. Right? But like I don't have it in me to say fuck everybody else.
Dude, you dropped an F-bomb.
It's after 10 o'clock. This is the after hours show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We went to a rated R or TVMA notification in the top. You just missed it.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, like, to your point, it's the mask protects everybody from us.
Yeah.
So we're not going to.
I don't care. I've been wearing the damn thing for a couple months. In a few months, they're probably going to lift it all because they'll have a decent amount of people vaccinated.
Yeah, I feel like the end.
I mean, they're already to like 20%. So like, and it's going faster and faster.
Especially now that Johnson & Johnson has one out.
Yeah.
So now there's a third one people can get. Yeah. We are done. I really should create like a little all finished banner. So it's fine though.
You have to end the broadcast.
Yes, I will be. So thank you everyone for joining me. Right now I don't know if I'm going to be doing this for April or not. So we'll see. I'll probably take next week off. So, but this was fun. And I really like sitting here chatting with everyone. So thank you all for joining. And I will keep you all posted if we're going to be doing more lives in the future, but not next week. Going to take at least next week off. So, bye everyone. Have a good night.